Number 3 tool for health and well-being in 2020 is to learn about nutrition and specifically learn about a phenomenon called food addiction. Now, there's a really big misconception that there are fat people, and nothing could be further of the truth. There are no fat people. There are people who are suffering from food addiction. So when you call yourself a fat person, that's actually a command to your body, a command to your subconscious. That's incredibly problematic when you are trying to be healthy, when you're trying to shed extra weight. That is reinforcing the idea that you can't lose weight. So rather than labeling yourself that, I want you to never label yourself a fat person again. You are a person who is experiencing food addiction. So research food addiction and understand and cultivate a greater awareness of what is really happening. Now, I'll explain very quickly. Food addiction is the feedback loop that is brought on when we overeat. When we overeat, we cause an insulin spike. This insulin spike then causes a neurotransmitter release. Happy neurotransmitters like dopamine, serotonin are released, and we get kind of like a numbing, slightly euphoric high almost. Now, we've all heard eating our feelings, drowning our sorrows in ice cream, pizza. I mean, we've all done that, clearly. And what happens is that over time, this becomes a feedback loop. And every time a person is having these feelings that they're trying to chase away with that insulin spike and neurotransmitter release, they're bringing it on again and again and again. Now, this is really the underpinnings of obesity. No doubt there are other health problems which affect obesity, but I would say that food addiction is the number one phenomenon that you need to understand if you're struggling to lose weight and can't. That's going to put a lot of things into perspective. And when you really cultivate an awareness for what those feelings and thought patterns are that you're trying to chase away, that's actually the first and biggest step to coming to terms with those feelings and really experiencing them. Because once you realize that, for example, you're eating because you're stressed, angry, depressed, once you realize that you can feel those feelings and it's not going to kill you, it's mildly unpleasant, but you don't need to stomp them out by overeating or anything else. When you finally stop trying to push those feelings away, they almost start to dissipate immediately, and what you were trying to keep at bay for so long can flow through your consciousness, and before you know it, you're seeing the back of them. So when you don't know how to eat well, when you don't know about food addiction, that's not your fault. You probably came from a home where people didn't have the time or the knowledge or the resources to eat healthy, to go to the organic grocery store and shop for fresh food every day or so. And that's not your fault, and that's not your parents' fault. But it's a blessing that you are in the place in life now where you can learn about nutrition. You can learn about what foods are good and bad for you, and you can actually tune into how your body feels when you eat certain foods. You're going to find that when you eat a salad, you feel amazing. When you eat junk food, you feel terrible. And that is your guide, the biofeedback. You're tuning into your own feelings, you're learning, you're filling in the knowledge gaps that you didn't have before, and you're cutting the feedback loop of food addiction. And that is going to break you free from the chains of obesity, because you deserve to live a life without endless suffering. And I'll tell you, people seem to think that it's hard to diet, that it's hard to exercise, it's hard to be hungry. I want to ask you, is it easy to feel bad about yourself? Is it easy to not fit into the nice clothes you bought for yourself? Is it easy to have joint pain, to feel bad, to have low energy? Is it easy not to be able to get down on the floor and play with your children or grandchildren? Is it easy to sit at home because you're embarrassed of the way you look and you become disconnected? And is it easy to feel bad about yourself, full stop? No, it's not. It is so much easier to be hungry for a couple hours a day and burn off those extra calories. It's easy and feels amazing to move and exercise. So cast out all of those preconceived notions, and I want you to know that health and well-being is 100% available to you.